everybody. Welcome to a Wednesday edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder. And as we do every day, we have some comedians who come on this show and join us with a conversation where we talk about sports. If you're not familiar, these comedians have been in comedy. Let's see, they've been in comedy since, oh my God, that far back. Yeah, we talk about they traveled the world. They've been in comedy specials, comedy shows, comedy films, and everything. Where we just talk, what they just do about comedy. Now let's bring them up. We got talent in joins us on the show. We got the comedian known as Fig who's in the show. And we also got the comedian who's known as Rodney Perry in the show. Except this show is where comedy meets sports. We talk sports. The show's called Box Seats. Gentlemen, how you guys doing this morning?
Oh man, I'm good. I get the purple on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sad like you thought I was. And Rodney over here with that silly ass smirk. I'm fine, Frank.
Fig, you doing okay? Fig, you doing okay? Fig?
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. It's a good day.
Oh, okay. I think he was sticking. So I think Wi-Fi was sticking. Rodney Perry, how you doing this morning?
Hello guys. It's always a pleasure to see your faces, man. And Frank, how are you? You guys, it's just a pleasure, man. And I wanted to make sure I was here at the outset of the show to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Rodney Perry can start stuff without starting stuff.
Yeah. Smooth. He's so smooth.
Yeah, he's that dude when you was going to school. He be picking up people and say, "Ooh, you know what he said about you? He said about you." He's that dude.
No, I'm not at all, Frank. Let's not even buy into that, guys. Man, you guys are on the road to on the road to be a viable team again, and I just hate that I had to be the guy,
Mm. All right, well, let's jump into the show. Every day I always start off the show with the COVID report. And, talent, you're going to find this COVID report kind of interesting. And I'm going to start out with you because of something you said yesterday. But we were talking about the Olympics. And you guys have known in the, 125 years, 120 years of the Olympics, they've always had the torch relay. Well, this year, the torch relay has been canceled in the Hiroshima streets due to COVID. Now, other news, also a COVID report, is Georgia Tech is going to allow full capacity for football. 55,000 people are going to be able to jump in the Bobby Dodd Stadium to start off this season in about a couple of weeks in Georgia Tech. So, Talon, when you hear about the Olympic torch relay being canceled in 120-some years, I know it's got to make you go, why are they even happening? I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Clearly, the scientists ain't doing their damn job. Why would you cancel the torch? The torch fire is the one thing we know that kills it. The one thing that we know that kills the COVID is heat and fire. And you cancel the one thing that those are going to be the safest people in the Olympics. The torch relay, anybody by that torch, you good money. It's like that buzzer in the yard at the cookout that you just sitting there playing cards. You zip, zip. Anybody sitting by the buzzer ain't gonna never get no mosquito bites, huh? They should have kept that.
Very, very, very true. Fig, your thoughts?
Yeah, man, I echo it, man, because I was thinking it. I'm like, it's kind of crazy. If you can have Muhammad Ali with the torch and the relay with the whole Parkinson thing when he was, when his arm was shaking, lighting the thing and stuff like that, then I'm like, COVID must be really bad. You know what I mean? You can't have it now.
Right.
No doubt about that one. Rodney Perry, your thoughts?
So you want to bring up the greatest of all time. And Parkinson's? Really?
Yeah.
I love you guys, man. Look, hey man, COVID is not a game, but the game is almost over. They got this vaccine on the street. They slanging it like it ain't no tomorrow. Stadiums is filling up. I watched my brothers do a comedy show here in Atlanta that was almost capacity. People are back touring, back making money. The Olympics are a little late to the party on this, in my opinion.
Yeah, good point.
No doubt about that one. No doubt about it. Okay, next topic I want to talk about real fast is that the New York Rangers, they have fired their head coach, David Quinn, and 3 assistant coaches for the missed the playoffs again. Now, I don't follow hockey like the way I should, but being that this is a sports show, I found out that the New York Rangers have consistently mixed for like the 3 or 4 last 5 seasons. People are extremely upset in New York, and talent. It looks like New York, they don't play, man. I mean, they don't play. If you don't win, you don't have a job after a certain amount of time period. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, that is the New York state of mind. And that goes for everybody from Dunkin' Donuts to any administration. You know, in New York, if you are not getting the results that they want to see, I mean, you guys, we talk about the New York teams all the time. We can see the proof is in the pudding. I mean, look at the shuffleboard over the last 2 decades at the New York Knicks organization. You know, it's the same thing. We're talking about the Garden with the Rangers.
Right.
So the Garden mentality, dude, we throw Patrick Ewing out on his ass. We stop Spike Lee. We don't give a damn who you are and what you did. You better win, bring us some results, or you're going to find your ass out.
Big, what's your thoughts?
Talent is absolutely right, man. When we get tired of you in New York, we're going to get you up out of there. I don't care how tough you are, what kind of gorilla you are. If you mad at you in New York, we're going to get you out. We're going to get you out. You see what they did to Charles Oakley, and Charles Oakley ain't nothing to play with. They call all it, Dolan called SWAT. He called the SWAT team. He said, I got a monster in here, and I want y'all to get out of here. We got King Kong. And Oakley went down swinging. He was knocking people out. He was like, yo, hold my Rolex. They grabbed him up, about 6, 7 SWAT dudes with automatic weapons, and ushered him out of the Garden. So if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do in the Garden, we're going to get rid of you.
Yeah.
Rodney Perry, your thoughts?
I mean, New Yorkers, man, I mean, the reason that we love these guys we got on the show, man, they don't take no stuff, you know, ever. They don't never take no stuff. If you're in New York and somebody say, hey, son, it's a wrap. So as long as you know that, when you take the job, no matter what it is, you take the job, you know that they might be throwing your ass out pretty soon.
No doubt about that one. At the end of the day, you got to win to stay in. It's just that simple. You got to win to stay in. And keep continuing on, speaking about winning and staying in, Joe Madden explained last night, he kept getting asked about Albert Pujols and everything else. He said, listen, I tried my best to talk to him, but he was playing so poorly that we had to get rid of him now instead of waiting to the end of the season, which I don't know. I mean, honestly, Joe Madden is the manager of the baseball team and everything else. I felt if they felt that coming in the season he wasn't going to do that good, why they even bring him do that to disgrace him? Man, I don't know. I mean, if I'm Albert Pujols, I'm extremely upset. But this is baseball. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do. What you think about what Joe Madden said, Talent?
Well, I mean, again, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, that's every man in every position. You know what I mean? Joe Madden, he's going to have his opinion and speak about what he feels as well. That's the thing about putting yourself in these positions. When you're a professional athlete, everything you say and do and how you carry yourself is going to be subject to people's opinion. Some more famous than others. I mean, look at LeBron. LeBron is the face of his league. And in his league, every single thing he does is under intense scrutiny. And people are going to, take sides. Oh, he wasn't that bad. Or he shouldn't have said that. What the young lady say? Shut up and dribble. You know what I mean? Well, in this case, we're talking about Joe Madden's opinion, and I respect it.
There you go. Fake, what's your thoughts?
Man, it just amazes me. Like, baseball just started like last week. I mean, they like 4 games in.
Right.
And all of a sudden, they getting rid of Albert Pujols. I'm like, man, how you know he gonna do bad? Maybe he was just having a slump in the beginning of the season, and he was gonna pick up and go on the upswing. Man, I don't know, man. It just seems a little early to me, man, because baseball season is so long. I mean, baseball, we literally going into October with baseball, and here we are in May, and you already getting rid of people. It just seems a little premature to me.
All right, Rodney Perry, your thoughts?
Speaking of premature, let's bring it to an analogy that we all hopefully never have to understand. It's like erectile dysfunction. Okay? We were young men and we were willy-nilly then you knew you knew your man was gonna be there when you need him.
Right.
But now Albert Pujols, you old, okay, and you ain't sure if your man gonna be there.
Yo.
So if you don't know your man gonna be there, Albert, you gotta go sit your ass down.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. and everybody come to this realization one day. Hopefully, you don't have to do it in front of a room full of people.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. Like that's true. You hope that don't have to happen.
You know, let me tell you something. You got to learn how to maneuver around erectile dysfunction. All you got to do is not go after the booty, right? You wait until it's workable and then you go. Like the problem is we go first here. Let me go get it. Like he said, your man might not be there for you.
Yo, the funny thing is, you know what's really funny about what Rodney said? In a nutshell, there ain't no fluffers.
In a nutshell.
Yes, ain't no fluffers in baseball.
No fluffers in real life. Yeah, in baseball.
Let's keep it going. Other news: the Kentucky Derby winner, who we talked about yesterday, named Medina Spirit, owned by Bob Baffert, the billionaire we talked about literally 12 hours ago. There was a discussion amongst all the people that are saying that he has to be banned from the sport. Well, guess what? Word came down this morning. It ain't gonna happen. He's not gonna be banned. As a matter of fact, Medina Spirit is gonna be in the next.
Going in the Hall of Fame. He don't want too much. He don't want too much with no blemish. I mean, the guy's been winning, and now y'all see they try to imply that he's been cheating the whole time, and it's just they don't have no proof.
All right, well let me start around and see what you guys think. Talent, what you think? You go first.
I think that he's been busted before though, bro. And because of his history, I think you got to go off of the history. It's no different than in the courtroom with a rap sheet. Your rap sheet tells me a little bit about you. It tells me your track record, what you did and did not do over the years. And, he did get busted at least once or twice before where they had proof, but they're trying to say it's always been like that. I'm with Rodney with, where's the proof of that?
Right. Well, Fig, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, always is reaching. And although Talent is absolutely right, your rap sheet does tell a lot about you when you're in the courtroom and stuff like that. But if you're a billionaire, they send you home. they send you home with a little ankle device. You know what I mean? If you ain't got no money, they send you to prison or they ban you. But when you're a billionaire, you on house arrest.
Facts. Yeah, you ain't got to go there. Rodney Perry, your thoughts?
Yeah, better leave this man alone. Them cancel horses. Yeah. You're a billionaire. You be like, you know what? Nobody else get horses.
Nobody else.
No more horses. I own all the horses. No, ain't no more derbies.
We say to leave him alone.
Leave that man alone. He gonna buy all the horses everywhere.
Hey, Rodney, he messing around and buy Kentucky.
The whole state. You know what?
No more horses.
Yeah, no more horses. And I'm buying Kentucky too.
One more word. I'm back Kentucky.
Hold on. Hey, he got so much money. Everything you used to with a horse disappeared. And no more Mr. Ed reruns. You cut on the Western, they're walking.
He bought all the reruns.
He took the horse out of everything we know.
Yeah, and the Budweiser commercial, they be pulled by dogs.
Rottweiler.
No more Clydesdale. Straight dog.
All right, and the next story up, man, is we were talking about sneakers a couple of weeks ago, and there was a big sneaker deal that was signed, except this one was signed by a female. Seattle Storm WNBA Finals MVP Breanna Stewart signed a Puma deal for her own signature sneaker, and she joined only 8 other players, and she got a multi-million, 30 million plus deal for this talent. Huge. What you think?
Yeah, you know what I love about it? I love this because it's athletic. It's attached to athletics. It's attached to the female gender side of it. Because before these things started to happen, for a girl to get a deal, it would be with something feminine like a Victoria's Secrets or, you know what I mean? Like, Bed Bath and Beyond. And that would be the usual suspects connecting. This we need to see more of. We need to see more of this. More sneakers, more athletics, like the story we did with Vanessa Bryant. And, you had Simone Biles and all these, the Olympians. I'm loving to see the women cross that line, that threshold of this apparel and athletics. Kudos.
I could even say that if more people got together and do their own signature, sneakers, shoe, however you want to call it, again, we could create the demand. It could start going down with people, shooting and hurting each other over these sneaker deal. But anyway, Fig, what you think?
Man, I think it's absolutely amazing, man. It's about time because women athletics is becoming very popular. You know what I mean? In the mainstream media. These young ladies are playing at a high level, whether all across the sports. Talent said Simone Biles in gymnastics. You got the track and field stars, WNBA. It's high time because listen, young ladies are wearing sneakers the same way that the men are, and what better thing for a company to do is to have a face of your brand that's very popular. I think it's well overdue.
No doubt. Rodney Perry, your thoughts?
Everything is tougher for women. This is a great look. And it's a lot of girls out there with big feet, man. And they need somebody. You need somebody to look at. To go, it's not just me. My feet is big, and so is this young lady. So now their feet don't have to hang over the little slippers.
Rodney. You just got a whole lot of women be mad at you, bro. Just saying.
No, positivity. Look, if you're a little girl with big ass feet, you need Breonna Stewart.
Rodney Perry.
I got daughters, Frank. I got 5 girls. My
goodness.
My feet. They got little fat Rodney Perry feet.
You know what's funny though?
What I love, Simone Biles, and she has some little wide feet for my babies to go, ooh, I got balance too.
All right, y'all, let's continue on, man. Let's keep this thing going on. The next topic we got to talk about, we have to bring in and talk about the conversation. And the hottest thing right now is the Lakers overtime victory against the Knicks. We all saw Talent Horton Tucker won the game. LeBron sat out last night. Talent, I'm going to start with you, bro. I'm going to say this is my opinion, and then I'm going to let you go hear this. If Rose had came down that lane and took the shot instead of passing it back out the top, and he had took that shot because he had been hitting that bunny the whole game, if he had taken that shot, he would have hit. We'd be in a different conversation. But the Knicks could still be looking at this as a positive thing. But however, that's how I see it. Boy, how do you see it, Tim?
Well, I first of all, because it's an away game, they're not going to be all that down on themselves. They'll take that on the chin. They'll go watch the tape and see the things you mentioned. I agree with you on the Derrick Rose situation. I also, from the beginning, the first couple of quarters, it's a lot of little home. We expected a lot of home cooking going on with the refs. So I was like, you know what, it ain't gonna be close. We're not gonna win this one. But I was shocked and impressed by how they did keep it close the whole ride, make it go to overtime. So I was very impressed with my Knicks in that essence of the game. But I just thought the final couple of decisions, like once you got to overtime, you crashed those boards. They crashed the boards way less in overtime, and that's how the Lakers chip passed and won that with that final shot. We didn't match that final shot.
Right. Fig, what's your thoughts?
I echo everything that Talent said. The main thing for me is that I don't know if you remember, Frank, when you was talking about what you thought the Knicks was going to do on this road trip. I was very apprehensive about how good we would do. We came out of it 500. It turned out to be 3-3. We won 3, lost 3. The biggest reason that I thought that we wouldn't do that well is because most of the teams that we played had solid big men or solid big man play. And you can see the evidence of that last night. The fact that we didn't have, too many big men starting centers out for the season and stuff like that. And that what gave me most pause about whether the Knicks would be able to do good. Andre Drummond was an absolute monster on the boards. I think he pulled down 18 rebounds. Anthony Davis was Anthony Davis. Pau Gasol came in and gave his presence as a big man. But I'm pleasantly surprised how well the Knicks did being undermanned like that and on the road against what people are projecting to be the NBA champs. And the Knicks are nowhere near that caliber of play. And I'm pleasantly surprised, man. I'm happy with the outcome. The fact that we were able to take them to overtime, it just screams volumes about the job that Tom Thibodeau was doing with the young Knicks.
Rodney Perry, your thoughts?
Yeah, man. It's I didn't watch the game. I tend to shy away from the games that you just kind of know a guy's going to win, and so the Knicks are looking good, man. They're looking good. I mean, not now, but maybe someday. You know what I mean? It's like the Wizard of Oz. You got to be able to click your shoes together, right? And sometimes a house fall on your ass.
Sometimes a house fall on your head, right? Really?
Clearly, he fell asleep during that movie.
Yeah.
I only caught the highlight.
I believe it before we jump to the next thing, and I'm gonna say I almost looked like a genius last night because if the Lakers had lost that game, I would have said, I told y'all that's the only. Well, there's maybe one other game, but
why do I gotta hear that anyway?
Sorry, gotta say it to you, bro.
I was almost a genius.
Yep.
If the Lakers, but they didn't.
Okay.
And you still said it.
Yeah, that's right. That's why.
Frank, to tell you the truth, you was one game. I think it was one game off. I think out of the
one game
5, you predicted 3-2. Yeah, you was one game off. So the Knicks actually played 6 and they went 3-3. You know what I mean? I had no idea. I would have never put $2 on the fact that the Knicks would have beat the Clippers. And then to go right behind and beat the Lakers on top of that, that's a stretch.
Hold on. One game out is a lot. Okay.
Yeah, but Rodney, out of 6 games, I predicted
no. I predicted the main one you predicted was the Lakers. You was like, oh, they'll beat the Lakers.
Hold on, you ain't gonna get that to me, Rodney. Out of the 6 games.
Okay, we're gonna play Russian roulette. You got the gun, you got the bullets, and then you go, oh, I'm one up. I almost had it.
All right, you ain't got to give it to me, Rodney. You ain't got to give it to me. It's all good. I told you they were going to beat. I said they were going to beat the Clippers. I said they were going to beat the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Suns. I was wrong. Okay.
I was one off.
All right, let me talk about my Boston Celtics. Let me talk about my Boston Celtics. I'm going to start out by saying, look, the Celtics are unraveling at a very, very rapid pace. The news I heard this morning and what happened last night is going to shock Celtics fans across the country. First of all, they lost to Miami. They're headed to play in the play-in tournament right now. People are talking about the Celtics should trade Marcus Smart. And this morning, word is out that Kemba Walker and Marcus Smart is not playing tonight versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is only going to tell you that the team itself, you know what I mean? You know, normally around this time of year, everybody got little nicks and nannies. You know, they're gonna play. Sounds like to me the team is quitting on the coach, and they're getting ready to mail in the rest of the season because they don't even want to play. So Rodney, tell me what you think first. I'm not even gonna do Rodney.
I said it's messed up. You know, right before the injury of Brown. Yeah, that's a sign. If those guys are just saying, "Hey, we're not gonna play," they're kind of mailing in the season and quitting. But then what's the word we've been using the last 2-3 days? Camaraderie.
Yeah.
They ain't got it. They ain't got it. So you know what happens after that? Heads got to roll. People got to go.
And at the end of the day, I think Marcus Smart's on the chopping block. What you think, Fig?
What is weird to me with the Celtics is they always seem to get rid of the wrong player. But I take it back to when they won that championship and then they got rid of I think they got rid of Big Perkins. Mm-hmm. I believe Big Baby. Like that team to me was it was just like the anchor. Like Perkins was the anchor of that team. And you talk about getting rid of Marcus Smart. That dude is to me, he's the heartbeat of the team. He may not be the most skilled, but he is the engine that makes that whole train run, man. I'm surprised if they get rid of Marcus Smart. I think that would be another horrible move by Danny Ainge. You know what this really is? It's in the modern day, this is the curse of what they did to Isaiah Thomas.
I'm gonna just say this: it's not even Danny Ainge's fault for you guys because you guys not in this market. Of the Celtics as players, all the players are upset at Marcus Smart because they're saying that he shoots too much, which he does, and he always takes horrible shots at the most in-op time. And it's the team. The players are all saying it, and the word is leaked out by to the reporters, and the reporters talk about right now. And all the players themselves, they can't wait for him to leave. So if the players don't want to play with you, you in trouble. You know what I mean? So you gone. So I expect Marcus Smart to get traded at the end of the season. Rodney Perry, what's your thoughts?
Well,
here comes some new edition stuff.
Hold on, buddy.
There it goes.
Come on, Frank, man. Nobody got time to bring up New Edition.
Okay.
Look, although I am a huge New Edition fan, and maybe the best thing to ever come out of Boston, but that's neither here nor there. Here goes, man. I think what's going to happen, of course, Marcus Smart is out of there, but Frank, you've been calling for this for some time now. It's time to get new coaching in there, and I think that this season will allow that to happen.
So you think that's what's going to happen? Okay.
I mean, you've been calling for it. It's time for them to get a new coach.
I've been calling for it for about at least since the beginning of last year because his substitution pattern, Brad Stevens' substitution pattern, is absolutely horrible. It's one of the things. He'll take a dude out when a dude is hot. You know what I mean? And dude ain't even tired. That's another reason why that white boy left. I forgot his name. I can't think of his name on top.
Gordon?
He did not. Yeah, that's the reason why Gordon Hayward was like, yeah, I don't want to return. Now he knew Gordon Hayward from Indiana. He's like, Gordon Hayward felt he wasn't getting enough playing time, so he signed somewhere else. And Gordon Hayward should have played a whole lot more. But let's move on. Let's move on because James Harden is returning to the Nets tonight. Kyrie Irving gets hurt last night. They've only played the big three talent have only played 7 games together this whole season. They're 3 games away from getting ready to go into the playoffs. I mean, I don't know about you, but the injury bug is plaguing that team too. What you think, Talent?
Well, listen, that team is built on injuries, so we can't be surprised that they're continuing with what we call consistency. They bought injuries. It's like buying a used car. You know you ain't got no full warranty. when you bought a used car, you knew it wasn't bumper to bumper. They done went and bought 3 used vehicles. Yeah. So now, anybody ever know this person with multiple cars? Hey man, you got this too? Where the Cadillac? In the shop. Kyrie back in the shop. The Harden came out. The Harden just came out the shop. But guess what? Now you got to put the Kyrie in the shop.
Put the Kyrie in the shop.
Yeah, they paid for those injuries, bro.
Where did KD at?
Well, KD came out. You notice they ain't driving him a lot. They ain't driving that KD a lot. They only put it on the highway twice since it got out. They only drove that KD twice on the highway, bro.
He ready for the highway.
Hey man, listen. I'm gonna stick with Talent's analogy with the cars and stuff like that, but I'm gonna take it a little more primitive. What the Nets actually did is something that they did back in the day when they got when they took Garnett and Paul Pierce and them. They did buy some used cars, some old ones. But here's the thing. These guys are like tires, used tires that were dry rot. They got dry rot tires. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And James Harden is basically the decent spare. You know, he ain't the one to go down too much. But that Kyrie Irving and those are the Uniroyal. Those Uniroyal dry rot tires that you ain't supposed to have on your car unless you staying in your vicinity. You put them on the highway, they just ain't gonna last. That's all I'm trying to tell you. Them tires don't last.
All right, Roger Perry, what's your thoughts?
We got used cars, dry rot tires. I'm gonna go a different way. It's like the Three Little Pigs. Look at the Three Little Pigs. One house, one pig built his house of straw. Another pig built his house of wood. Another pig built his house of bricks. And so when the big bad wolf come around, he couldn't blow down the brick house.
Right.
The whole team out there, the Nets, is made of straw.
The whole net out of straw, Rodney? That's terrible.
It blowing the whole.
He blow the whole house.
Just wait to blow the house down.
Yo, these dudes, they know what they bought. They was injured or injury prone when they purchased them. They knew exactly what the hell was happening. They just didn't know. They thought it was like regular injury prone. No, these dudes, house of straw for real. Somebody last injury, they got playing checkers. They somebody tore Achilles.
You know what the
Somebody
funny
tore
thing is?
Achilles playing checkers.
You stupid. You know what the funny thing is, though? Although Kyrie did get injured, in a playoff type situation, Kyrie can actually play because he just got hit in the face. So it's not like his legs or his arms or anything like that. He can actually still play. If this was a playoffs, Kyrie can actually play. But he
wouldn't have played because he went under concussion protocol. So yeah. he wouldn't have played.
No, what I'm saying is he's not going to miss. He would miss a couple of games, but he's not going to miss the whole thing. Like he'd be right back.
I know what you mean. I'm just saying they put him on the concussion protocol, so they were like, no, he wasn't playing, even if it was a playoff. And Kyrie is soft, so they would have been like, yeah, okay, you know, that's a whole different conversation.
You can't call the man soft.
Bro, I can call him that because he played for the Celtics, and I saw if he broke a fingernail, he was out for the game. So
how you know that, though, Frank? How you know he's soft like that? Why you saying he's soft?
Let's go to the next. Here's my next topic question for you guys. Speaking of Kyrie. We talk about LeBron. We talk about the Lakers. Talon, I'm going to start with you. LeBron James or James Harden, whose return will have the bigger impact right now with the injury stuff that they have? I'm going to go on record, and I'm going to say if James Harden comes back, he'll have a bigger impact because I think LeBron James is still going to be playing on a sore ankle. That's what I think. I don't think he's going to be 100%. I think James Harden will have a bigger impact. So I'm going to start with you, Talon. Who's going to have a bigger impact on their team coming into the playoffs this season right now?
Well, I would say the same thing. I would say that it would be James Harden for more reasons than just whether LeBron is fragile on that or not. I think it's what it is the type of team that one is coming back to. Somebody needs to take over. Again, we just making fun of the injuries, but in real life, they need Harden to make the impact. So the fact that they need him, like LeBron's more of a presence to me. Like his presence mentally gets in the head of the opposition team. You know what I mean? And he makes them think and move a certain way. That's his impact. However, James Harden's impact is he's a go-getter. He's a scorer. You know what I mean? He's not good. Like LeBron has more all-around game. LeBron even out with the assists, steal, point ratio, rebound ratio. James Harden's just going to go in there and be a maniac. And then when you take another scorer out of the big three, he's only going to be more of a maniac. So for that reason alone, I give him more of the impact.
Big, get that.
I understand where talent is, but as far as the playoff run, I think LeBron James is more important to his team than James Harden is to his, because I think even with a healthy Kyrie and KD and all the surrounding players that the Nets have, I think they could go further in the East than LA would be able to go in the West without LeBron James. Without LeBron James, you might as well pack your season in right now, because when him and AD went out, they down into the playoff round. You know what I mean? Where they got the play in. You know what I mean? Somewhere between 7 to 10. So that's how far they fell with LeBron James and Anthony Davis out of the lineup. Now you just got AD, and they barely got by the Knicks. They had to go to overtime to get by the Knicks. You know what I mean? And in the West, when you got to deal with all of those juggernauts over there, oh yeah, you need LeBron James. You need LeBron James. You need AD. You need Drummond. You need everybody. Everybody. You need get them off the bench. Let everybody play. Let Vogel get in the game. You need some of everybody over there.
Rodney Perry, the question is James Harden or LeBron James, whose return will have a bigger impact on their team? Where they are right now with the playoff injuries that they're still having right now, they're dealing with, because you got James Harden is dealing with a hamstring and high injury sprain for LeBron.
I mean, to keep it real, Harden is so important to making this team go. You don't want Kyrie at the point guard. You don't. You really need James Harden. Like, they've been suffering because he's been off the court, and so you would think that guy in the center of that storm would be KD, but it's really James Harden. And without James Harden, I don't think they got a snowball chance of hell of even getting to the finals.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. That's I'm not surprised you said that, because I agree with that. I think James Harden will be a bigger impact to the team, even though I understand what Fig was saying about LeBron, because it makes sense. But I think LeBron is limping. I think LeBron's on limp. Let's move on and continue on. Switch over to the NFL, because yesterday I told you all we were going to talk about Aaron Rodgers today, because what I found out he did 2 days ago. Now I found out even a little more. Talent. Aaron Rodgers is calling players. Word is he's calling players and having other players come with him no matter wherever he ends up going. He thinks he's going to go to Denver. So he's calling players and finding out, especially Devontae Adams. He had a serious conversation with Devontae Adams, who's the wide receiver, who's in the last year of his contract, saying, yo, if I go to Denver, I want you to come with me. What do you and now it hasn't been proven yet, because the reporters haven't been proven that. But I'm gonna ask you, Talent, when you hear this story, what's the first couple of things that come through your mind about Aaron Rodgers recruiting players to a team he's not even on?
The first thing come to my mind is, who's snitching? Like, how do we know this?
True.
Somebody snitching. But hey, I be honest with you, I expect this. I expect this because Aaron Rodgers is leaving for a main reason, and that is to know his worth or feel respected at his level of worth. And what other way to feel your worth is to turn to a player that you like or value and say, yo, rock with me, leave with me. Because if he does that, your worth, you're getting that feeling that you're going for. You know what I mean? You're going out for that feeling. And you know that you don't hate the team entirely. You know you got some talent in that team. That's how you got as far as you got. So you're going to have some camaraderie with somebody to go, hey, man, on some real, I'm not coming back. I'm leaving, blah, blah, blah. I would like, you should come with me, because I'm going to go over here. I think I got such and such pieces. I'm trying to get a chip. When I leave this team, this team got to start fresh. Come with me. Let's get this chip. Why wouldn't he? I expect it. If I'm leaving, I'm tapping into somebody I like for whatever reason I like him for. He might be the ride. You know what I mean? He might be my ride to work. I'd be like, yo, bro, I'm leaving. I'm still going to need a ride. He might be like, I got you, dog. And then, they might be the two tightest dudes on the team. Who knows?
Hey, what you think?
Yeah, man. I love exactly what Talon is saying, especially about the whole ride thing, because Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers got enough to put some gas in Devontae Adams' car when they taking the ride from back and forth to the crib to the stadium. But the first person that I did think of on the Freudian slip was Tom Brady. When Tom Brady got out of New England,
Gronk.
He took Gronk out. Gronkowski he told Gronk the year before, he said, yo, I'm about to be out of here. And I'm going to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? You can meet up with me. And Gronk was like, all right, cool. I retire. And then Gronk left. And then Brady left. And then Gronk said, all right, I'm not retired no more. And then he met up with Brady and Antonio Brown. He was like, yo, man. He said, I know they're not going to hire you here in New England. But when I go to my other spot, I'm going to give you a call. And I'm going to get you on the team too. And then he was like, okay. He said, I'm with you, dog. He said, I just need you to be quiet. And then when Tom Brady got down to Tampa, he called up Gronk. He was like, yo, the fix is in. And then they got Antonio Brown on the three-way. He said, yo, dog, we about to do this. You want to come in? And he was like, yo, you know what it is. We in there.
Rodney Perry, your thoughts?
It's like the Blues Brothers movie.
The Blues Brothers? Okay.
The Blues Brothers. You got your guy, and you got to put the band together.
Right.
So what we're seeing in the NFL is the same thing we saw in the NBA. And all y'all like, I don't like it. These super teams. Guess what? Football figuring it out too. Football's like, you know what? I don't have to wait for these guys to randomly put me together with people. I know who I like. I know who I gel with. Give me my guys. And that's what all these big quarterbacks are fighting for now. They're fighting for some say-so. And guys like Aaron Rodgers got say-so. Guys like Tom Brady got say-so. And you're going to see this happening more and more over the next few years too. They put the band together, man. And who better to put the band together than a great player?
Yep.
Yeah, matter of fact, if that great player is calling you, bro, you're gonna go. I think if you can go, I think you will go. You know what I mean? That's what I think.
I blame. You know who I blame this on, Frank? Voltron. This is the Voltron generation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll form the head.
I can't even disagree with that. All right, let me ask you all this question, but I'm gonna start with you, Talent. It's been 3.5 weeks, right? It's been 3.5 weeks. What is going on with the Deshaun Watson case? Where are we at with the Deshaun Watson case? Why do you think all of a sudden it's quiet, Talent? So the first thought that comes to your mind is, right before the draft, we heard a whole bunch of stuff, but it was quieting down. Now the draft came, the draft slid by. I ain't heard nothing about Deshaun Watson. The women ain't saying nothing. Nothing. So what do you think?
Well, I think that's good news for Deshaun. I think when you have something, you've seen how the tenacity that this thing started as a fireball and how fast and steamrolling and pressing fingers and getting more and more numbers. I think the quieting and the almost stagnation is good for the defendant. You know what I mean? Like, because if we now know that if there was a bombshell, something would have blew up by now. So I think this is all good news for the person on the defense of it, which is Deshaun Watson. I think this is good news in his case because all of a sudden the lawyer is not as relentless as he was. I wonder why.
Good point. Fig, what's your thoughts?
They killed that buzz, man. They killed that draft buzz. You know what I mean? That probably was the whole undercurrent of this whole thing. You just say, yo, man, we put this whole, thing out here and we could kill his ability to go to another team like before the draft and stuff like that. So let's keep this thing going. Then when the draft starts, he ain't have no credibility where ain't nobody really want to pick him up. And now all the teams are loaded. So Deshaun Watson probably had to stay, huh? And that's the plan.
Rodney Perry, your thoughts?
I mean, I'm reading about it, and the silence is definitely deafening. And here goes, man. It looks like that even if it legally goes away, NFL can still they can still fine him and or what do they call it? Like
suspend him.
They can make he can't play the rest of the season, and so he'll probably not play this 21 season and end up, maybe not playing the 22 if this stuff is resolved the right way.
I don't know about that one. I think he's going to play because at the end of the day, these are all misdemeanors, and now he hasn't been. The NFL has never come forward and put such a harsh penalty on a player who hasn't been found guilty in something this year. Right now, it's still speculation.
But is that true, Frank? Because this article I'm reading said they did something like that to Roethlisberger.
No, Roethlisberger got suspended for a game or two. I'm talking about a whole season. You said a whole season. They're not. Deshaun Watson is the moneymaker for the Houston franchise and bringing them all in. He might get a game or two, but he's gonna play this season for somebody somewhere. You know what I mean? Again, it's only misdemeanor. It'd be different if it's a criminal charge. Roethlisberger was different. They were trying to get him with criminal charges for rape and everything, and women were coming forward for rape. these girls right now are coming forward talking about misdemeanors and everything else, and that he fondled them and they fondled him.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's different.
But he don't have a home right now, Frank. So no team is going to touch him until this is completely resolved.
He does have a home. His home is Houston. That's the whole point.
He ain't going to play in Houston.
According to him, he ain't going to play. According to Houston, he's going to play. That they weren't holding all the cards. So, but again, we'll know. You know what? This is what we'll know. We'll know in 3 weeks because mini camps are starting to open. If he doesn't start reporting to the mini camp and everything else, then we'll know that he's going to be sitting there saying, you know what? I don't want to come. We'll know he's going to take a stand.
And no way he's going to play another down in Houston.
I don't think so.
You're playing against him.
I don't think so either.
I'll tell you one thing. He might not play anymore in Houston, but he's still getting massages.
All right, let me ask you this, guy. I will start with my next thing. Urban Myers came forward last night. Urban Myers said Tim Tebow shined in all the workouts he played last night. He was stellar, according to Urban Meyer. He said that. Now, again, this morning, I looked at some more research, and there have been more NFL players who came up who were talking about, you know what? Tim Tebow is only on the team because of his relationships. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, that's what a lot of players are feeling. A lot of players are feeling that there's no way a person in his position could be out since 2012 and still play competitively as a tight end position. And so we're going to hear all this up until probably the kickoff of the first game. But I'm going to throw this out to you, Talent, and ask you this. Do you think, even though he never played in a position in this in football, do you think he really is competitive enough, or is this just something that Urban Myers is trying to get over for people's mind? You know what I mean?
I could see him being competitive, but I'm taking his words with a grain of salt. He can kiss my ass because he wasn't even at the workout. For real, he wasn't even there. So he's going off of what the information brought back to him. But he's speaking about it like he was there, like mano y mano, like, yo, he's in crazy shape. I've never seen nobody so competitive. He wasn't even there.
Right.
It wasn't even that important to be there. You just sent people and they come back and go, let me tell you something. We all do it. Rodney Perry, me, Fig, we comedians. Frank, you had to go functions where, I need a comedian to fill this spot or put in this spot or whatever. I need to see comedians. I just talked to 2 comedians yesterday. Oh, let me send you a tape. I really prefer seeing you myself. If I'm going to recommend you for this job, let me see if you got what it takes. I don't want somebody coming back to me like, oh, yeah, he cool. Because then if it goes wrong, all they're going to say to me is, it must have been a bad night. No, ain't no bad night. If I would have seen him myself, I probably would have knew.
Right.
or I didn't even see him. So I got to see that, again, like you said, when the kickoff starts and we all get to see him with our very own eyes, I'm going to come up with my conclusion. Is he still in shape? Is he super competitive? Is he working out at this different position? You know what I mean? Right.
Fig, some NFL experts are going on at ESPN this morning saying they don't even think he's going to be on the roster come opening kickoff. What do you think?
You use the words that Tim Tebow shined in his practice thing, his tryout, if you will. Clearly, these guys had watched The Last Dragon before this workout. What do you mean he shot? And let me just tell you this. Keeping it all 100. If Tim Tebow could be out of the NFL for 8-9 years and then come back and get a starting job at a competitive level, either he's a cyborg or something's wrong with the NFL. The NFL is whack as hell. Those ain't athletes over there. You mean 8 years and you never played this position and then you came back competitive enough to get you a starting job on the team? Something's wrong. Something terribly wrong. And he ain't no young dude neither. He an old dude. Like he's up in his for athlete. He's up in his 30s. And you beating out these young cats that been training for the last 4, 5, 6, all their life. And you just came back after being off for 8 years. And you beating somebody out for a position?
Yeah, that sounds suspect. Rodney Perry, what's your thought?
That locker room.
I mean, what Fig said makes sense, man. But that's the occupational hazard of being white in America. You get another shot. White man.
right, okay. Let me ask you guys this. Here's the thing. The NFL schedule is coming out officially tonight. Some of the games have already got leaked. Some of the big games are, as you could have already imagined, for the first season, for the first weekend. The Packers are going against the Saints. The Chiefs are going against the Browns. The Bears are playing the Rams. The Ravens are playing the Raiders on Monday night. And, of course, everybody's looking at certain games. But everybody in New England has got the Patriots versus the Bucks circled. That's the game everybody, we circle and everything else. I'm going to ask you, Talent, out of everything that you know is going to happen this NFL season, are you excited to see what? What game are you excited to see? Which game that you know? Are you excited to see Sam Darnold's return to the Jets? Are you excited to see the Chiefs play the Bucks? What's your biggest game you're excited to see, especially with the NFL coming out with their release schedule tonight? What do you think?
I always get excited to see the rematch of the Super Bowl. Certain games are great to see. The Super Bowl and the 2 games before the Super Bowl that decide the teams that are playing in it. Those are the most I want to see again games, if they're possible, if they happen on the NFL schedule. Yes, you want to see the Bucks and the Chiefs, but I do want to see you guys, New England against Tampa. You always want to see that. Like a superstar leaves a team, you always want to see him go back to that stadium and that whole thing it's a whole euphoric like atmosphere because people have mixed feelings. You love him because of all the years of camaraderie, but then now you hate him because he left and he went in. I love that.
Yeah, I love it too. Fig, what's your thought?
Man, I really like to see just like Talon said, man, I want to see Tom Brady go up against Bill Belichick, man. That's the one that I really, really, really want to see that. And I want to see what Kansas City looks like after they got their offensive line shored up too, because that's going to be big, because we tagged them to win several Super Bowls in a row, and because of injuries, they lost this last one to Tampa Bay. So I'd like to see what they look like when they come back. But I really want to know, will Tom Brady go to the home team's locker room just by sheer habit?
Rodney Perry, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I think this is going to be the first year in a few years that there is no controversy at the top of the season. I mean, Kaepernick has largely been resolved, even though he's not in the league still. That's kind of going away. We had the pandemic, we dealt with COVID, and now this is going to be the first full season in some time. So I think all in all, I mean, talking to some of my friends, they're just excited to have football back, full steam. People are going to be back in the stadiums. Everything is going to be back full steam. So all football, good football right now for me.
All right, y'all. That's the show. Believe it or not, we out. That's the show. So tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
Hey, man, follow me on all platforms. If you got Facebook, it's easy. King Talent Harris. If you got Instagram, Talent the Comedian. And if you are on Twitter, where it's moving like by the second, I'm at It's Just Comedy. It's your boy Talent. Box seats every day, though.
Yeah, Fig.
Hey, man, you can follow me on social media platforms at Comedian Fig. Box seats, Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m., the best damn sports show on TV. You can ask your mama. Now, I'm going to be at Clyde's Wine and Dine right after the Knicks next game.
There you go, Rodney Perry. Tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
I'm easy to find. RodneyPerry.com is the website. Rodney Perry Live on all social media. I'll see y'all in cyberspace.
There it is, y'all. That's the show. We got to get ready to roll up out of here. You all know the name of the show. You know the channel. In case you don't, the Humor Mill. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Tomorrow we got to do a whole thing about the NFL because it looks like the NFL is releasing the entire schedule tonight. And even though Roddy doesn't think it's going to be a lot of things talking about, it looks like they will be. So we'll see about that. Anyway, y'all, we got to roll up out of here. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care. Peace.